Welcome back, Alpha Hunters. The markets are closed for the week of January the 17th, 2025. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what went on this week. We had a nice little quick gap down, and then that was basically the low point of the week. We just started to chop around there first part of the day, slowly trended higher as we went into close. Tuesday, we got a nice little gap up continuation from that bullish activity from Monday, and then nice little sell down until the middle part of the day and tried to bounce there, rolled over in the afternoon, and then bounced again. Nice little lower wick forming there on the daily. Nice gap up here on Wednesday as we got inflation data. And the inflation data we got was core inflation rate year over year, 3.2%. Forecast and prior came in at 3.3%. So a little bit of a drop there from forecast and a little drop from prior. Total inflation, headline inflation, 2.9%. Forecast was expecting 2.9%. Prior was 2.7%. So the people out there that make these assumptions, they thought it was going to trend higher, and it did. So that is the data that we got there on Wednesday morning. Obviously, the market liked it. I think it had more to do with core inflation rate kind of dropping there. We were also getting into earnings. Earnings that came in really good for financials there Wednesday morning. Nice little gap up, nice little run, nice little sideways action there for the first part of the day. Nice little trend as we go into the end part of the day. Thursday, a little bit of a gap up, nothing crazy. Kind of just choppy sideways all day. I mean, the market had kind of been pretty bullish there Monday and Wednesday. So a little bit of a hangout day, not really doing too much there. Friday, nice little gap up here as well. And we had some good manufacturing data come in. So the market was kind of bullish on that. Futures actually just traded higher all night. So there you go. Anyways, nice little higher push in the middle part of the day and just kind of mosey on, pulled back a little bit as we go into close on Friday. So nice little bullish move on the week. All right, take a look at sector rotation for the week. The weekly biggest underperformer is healthcare. Biggest underperformer there. Staples also underperformed pretty good. Communications and tech actually underperformed pretty good. Decent amount there on the week. We saw some pretty good rotation into areas of discretionaries. Pretty good performance there. Utilities, industrials, real estate, materials, financials, and energies. Yeah, financials with a lot of earnings this week did really, really well. Energies, though, started off the week pretty strong, ended the week pretty strong. There you go. That is the rotation for the week. As far as the VIX, kind of just hanging out, not really doing a whole lot. Would expect probably just kind of continue to kind of come back down, mostly because I think the market will probably continue to trend higher here over the next few weeks. Maybe not crazy bullish like it was this past week, but I would expect probably the VIX to kind of keep dropping off there a little bit. The DXY dollar index. Yeah, this thing got pretty hot last week. This week we saw a pretty good, decent pullback. I wouldn't be surprised either way, honestly, this next week. If we kind of drop off there, maybe like Monday, Tuesday, pull back a little bit, I wouldn't think it's a reversal time, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a drop off one day, kind of come out, take out this lower wick there on from this past Wednesday, and then maybe it starts to go back higher. But maybe just a little bit more consolidation, maybe something like what we did back over here in November, something like that. The other thing, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it also just kind of went higher, maybe matched some of what it did back in 2022, where it kind of ripped up to this level, had a quick snapback a little bit, and then it pushed higher again. So, you know, it's kind of that point in time where it's been volatile before, and we just came off a pretty good run. We broke through some, channel highs over the past like 2 years or so. So yeah, I mean, it could definitely go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of comes out and this was the pullback that we got this week, and it kind of continues to go higher. I'm not gonna be surprised about that, but I also won't be surprised if it kind of drops off a little bit. I think I'd probably be willing to play a little bit more, or looking to be a little bit more playing it bullish if we do get a little bit more of another drop maybe this next week, or pull back a little bit more this next week. GLD Gold Trust. Well, it got back up to this zone or so around the 250 level, 250, 251 type level, and didn't get through there. Again, it's coming back down a little bit. Had a little bit of a pullback there on Friday. So it's kind of an interesting one. It could just be a resting as maybe these moving averages come up here over the next few days or probably this next week. And if it doesn't break down through those, I mean, obviously you're probably going to look for the continuation higher. I think that'd probably make the most sense, honestly. 10-year yield, pretty good drop there on Wednesday with that inflation data that we got. The interesting thing is, well, that's basically the low that we put in on Friday. Is about the lows that we put in back in that October 23 spot. I mean, not quite there, but like in roughly that neighborhood. So, I mean, that could have been the pullback that you were kind of talking about. Like, came up to that level, we pulled back. All right, here we go. Maybe another little slingshot higher there, old yield on the yield side for the bonds and stuff like that. So, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised. And then, talking about those bonds, so if yields, just had that quick little snapback and we see yields, pop higher here over the next couple of weeks or something, watch out for them. Watch out for the bonds. They might get hit pretty good. HYG's still been holding pretty tough over the past few months. The LQD obviously has been getting hit pretty good, except for this past week. But this could have been a quick snapback. So if they do wind up dropping off here over the next couple of weeks, might make sense. But we'll have to wait and see. The TLT, same kind of deal. I mean, both the LQD and TLT both kind of bounced into some previous kind of support and resistance areas, also into the moving averages a little bit. So yeah, if we do see that was a quick snapback and then we continue down on the bonds, I wouldn't be shocked by it. All right, for a lot of these market ETFs, one of the things that we were kind of talking about last week was the possibility of this being like an A, B, C, D, E type of correction. I don't know, that typically doesn't happen all that much, but you get this A, you get a B, you get a C that barely takes out that A, you get the D lower high from the B, and then you get the E. And the E, kind of seemed like that's the way it played out because we got a pretty strong rally. And that was kind of one of the scenarios that we kind of talked about at the end of last week. Like, hey, probably going to be looking for what a lot of people would think it would be a breakdown, but it'd be like a false breakdown kind of thing, or you're going to be looking to be bullish off of that. And yeah, we got that slingshot going right away on Monday morning. So looking like that's basically playing out across a lot of these ETFs. As far as the RSP though, looking pretty good. Probably see some consolidation, maybe a little bit, maybe Monday, Tuesday, some, and then it continues higher. Same kind of deal here with the DIA. Maybe see a little bit of a consolidation. Look at these two small days back to back. Thursday, Friday. I mean, I know Thursday had Wednesday and Thursday, they had just a super, super large gap up there on Wednesday. But man, those 2 days, intraday trading, just really small consolidation, looking pretty good, slingshotting higher. I wouldn't be surprised though if it did have maybe a couple days of resting, maybe a day and a half of it, and then start moving higher as we go into next week. IWM, same kind of deal here. Not as exactly like an A, B, C, D, E, mostly because the D went above the B kind of here. Not a big deal, but that's why it's the Russell. But definitely did get a nice little drop off from last Friday, but that gap down there on Monday and just went higher from there. Mostly kind of fizzled out towards the end of the week compared to some of the others, but a very strong Tuesday and Wednesday showing. The Qs, well, definitely played into an A, B, C, D, E type correction, and excuse that lower wick that we have there on Friday. That is not accurate. You can see it here. Definitely did not get down to that level that the daily is showing, but it doesn't matter. It looks pretty good. Honestly, I wouldn't really be too worried about stuff. I'd be looking for probably just some resting, maybe Monday, Tuesday, and looking to be bullish off of that. As far as the SPY, same kind of deal. ABCDE correction here over the past couple of weeks, looking pretty good. Probably going to be slowing the ascent as we go here over the next few weeks. And I'm going to be really curious to see how we kind of, what the market looks like. Are we, if we start to go somewhat slower, obviously I'm kind of expecting a little bit of resting maybe Monday or Tuesday. But if we just kind of mellow out here to the side and then just kind of slowly come up, yeah, I'd be really curious of that. It seems like we're starting to slow down quite a bit from what we've been doing over the previous few years, I guess. And yeah, it is what it is. I mean, things are changing, new administration, policies changing, and so it's just got to understand all the things that are kind of going on. But just be curious to see really how we do here over the next month or so, month and a half. And yeah, that's about it. Anyways, Alpha Hunters, have a great weekend. Take care.